Hey guys, it's Bunny here today with a short guide on how to play Miracle Rogue and how to play it a little bit on ladder, what to mulligan, and why I personally like the deck. Okay, so today I'll talk about Miracle Rogue. I've played this deck in the previous Masters Tour, and it's been doing pretty well for me. It's won me some very clutch matchups, especially when eating Il'gynoth from my opponent's hand with Mutinous, or even getting some really clutch wins against Warrior with some big Kazakus golems. And for Kazakus has super useful applications in all these matchups, especially Divine Shield copy, or if you don't get that, Rush copy is super useful against especially Warrior and other rogues because you're ahead on board, and if you get to stick one of those golems and you can play Tenwu or Shadow Step on them after trading, it's amazing. You basically have the board, and there's almost no way for your opponent to get it back. People have pretty much agreed on that this is the perfect deck list to play. And there aren't really that many changes you can do. People have tried taking out Cult Neophytes, but it hasn't worked super well. So the only flex slot that I currently see is Vanessa. In the tournament I recently played, in the Masters Tour, I played Mutinous over Vanessa. I think Vanessa is a very good card in the mirror and against other aggressive decks where you want their aggressive tools to take them and play them against them. But in the Masters Tour, I expected a lot of OTK Demon Hunter and a lot of Warrior. Against OTK Demon Hunter, eating any combo piece is super useful. It doesn't even have to be Il'gynoth, but if you eat the Il'gynoth, super yummy, you instantly win the game. Against Warrior, they like to buff the minions in their hand, and they're often buffed by 1, 2, or 3. And especially if you eat the buff Troublemaker, you instantly win the game. So it's a super good card for that specific choice. But other than that, probably there aren't too many good tech cards, so probably stick with Vanessa or Mutinous. Against fast decks such as Face Hunter or Token Druid, Octobot is even more important than he usually is. Also used to be the same against Paladin, but these seem to be extinct now. You want Foxy Fraud and other cards that support the Foxy Fraud, and if you have an Octobot, an Auctioneer is also great, because it will keep your hand full while removing your opponent's stuff, and you have so many removal cards in your hand against other aggressive decks that you can constantly cycle them with your field contact. Next up, let's get to the combo pieces and win conditions and a little bit of synergies. Against all the decks you play, the most central card in the deck basically is the Octobot, because it makes your deck do very unfair things. You reduce your hand and you can do super powerful things that your deck is usually not supposed to be able to do. And so you reduce your hand, you reduce your draw cards, and you play everything together with a field contact. You have some really cool combo in the end that you usually only get to do against slower decks, such like, especially against Warlock, you get to do it all the time, and it's super fun. But you also get to do it against Priest, where you can reduce your Alexstrasza and your Tenwu, and you use the Octobot reduction on the Alexstrasza and Tenwu to OTK them. So you play Alexstrasza, you Tenwu it back to your hand, you play the Alex again, you Shadow Step the Tenwu, play the Tenwu on the Alex, and play it in their face again. Use a Wicked Step, that's 30 damage. Super fun. Maybe not for your opponent, but I mean, that's how OTK works. I want to say one more tip for every deck. Should be short. So, Hunter, get board fast. Warrior, taking early damage is okay, but make a big swing turn where you completely blow them off the board and make a wide board yourself. They only have one way to deal with it, and that's a Muro. OTK Demon Hunter. Make it really awkward for them to play Skull. Either with making big boards themselves so they have to take a lot of damage, or by playing Cult Neophytes. Against decks that play a lot of spells, such as Mage and Token Druid, you definitely also want Cult Neophyte, because what you want to do is you want to take the time that they give you. They usually don't do anything for the first few turns, at least nothing super powerful, and you want to just keep them from playing their super explosive spells and just take your minions, go face, and kill them. And against Priest, either run them out of board clears in hand, or combo them at the end with the whole combo, and just pray. Pray really hard that they don't have Elucia. Alright guys, that was my guide on playing Miracle Rogue on ladder. I'd appreciate it if you guys left me a comment below telling me what deck you wouldn't me to explain next. And also, if you have any more questions on the deck, just leave them in the comments below, or check out my channel on Twitch and just ask me the questions live. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.